lovers. Hello. How fare we? How fare we on this day? Foos! What up, Ledge? Bugle's up for a real one. Guys, it's Thursday, all right? We talked about Wednesday. I bailed. I chose to be a dad. I have no regrets. But I hope everybody's doing really well. Hope we're feeling it. And I'm excited to do a little D&D prep. Simple as that. Although I got to find my music. Okay, great. Okay, so last time, yeah, no regrets at all. To be honest, I was sitting there yesterday and I was like, whew, it's just been crazy, guys. I mean, work, life, but these rehearsals are out in Topanga, and that is very far away, which is fine, totally fine. But, man, I've just been really feeling it, where I'm like, gosh, like, it's just been tough, man. Like, I feel like I've been leaving my wife hanging, you know, been wanting to be a solid partner and father, and also make a living. But whatever, these are the struggles that many people deal with. Yes. Appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't make either, you know. But who did make this map? This is one that's actually from a series that I think I've used. I believe the gentleman's on here. Hold up. No, I guess not. Yeah, it's pretty sick. Have you used this map before, Foos, or is this the first time you're seeing it? This is meant to be kind of like an army of death. In here is the main lich. And let me see if we have this. Yeah, basically, this is an area known as the Dark Hearth. And single diamond. I love it. Cool. Great. Cool. Very fun, very cool. Single diamond right there. Okay, great. Yeah, I got you. I appreciate that. Hey, man, it's going down. I mean, as you guys know, this is like the end of the campaign, right? But we took like kind of a long break, or at least for us, a pretty long break. Give me one moment. I hope this doesn't oversaturate, but I mean, I just kind of wanted to get a little more light here. Yeah, and we kind of took a little bit of a break, which, to be honest, like, I needed and benefited from in a big way. I was kind of burned out, I guess, but more was just kind of disappointed that things hadn't gone exactly as I'd planned. Foos, how you doing? How we living? You guys are streaming tonight, yes? I just sent Flandy a message on the back channels. You know how it goes. You know how it goes, dude. I honked him. No, I didn't. Absolutely not. But the issue I'm running into with that, Foos, is I don't know. Dude, it's so hard to describe. I've had so much going on with this play. I think I just booked another play that's in Long Beach, but like it's an hour each way. The point being that I spent a good amount of time yesterday and way more time than I wanted to this morning. Good boy, Marley. Cute little pup. He's getting his little tennis ball because he wants to play so bad. It ain't happening. Here you go, buddy. But I spent too much time this morning looking at that same issue and being like, you know, what the F am I going to do? Like, I guess it's not that big of a deal. I mean, you can still read the screen. It just drives me crazy. And apparently people have been experiencing this with the Windows 11 update interacting with OBS. I don't know what the deal is with that. I'm playing this campaign tonight, and I thought that we might be streaming Cthulhu on Monday, but we're not. The point being that now on Friday, I'll be sending my CPU back to Cobra Type. They've been really helpful and rad about it. I had a Zoom conference with one of their engineers who basically went through the log files and looked at some stuff and was like, a lot of stuff looks good. I'm not sure why we're getting certain errors. I'm not sure why you can't do this or that or this. Some of it's small, but some of it was like actually pretty significant. Snipping tools, having tons of trouble reading exFAT in NTFS, which that hard drive format is extremely common. I mean, NTFS is like the Windows format. So anyway, all that to say that like even this right now, it's not how I want it to be. It's very, very hard for me to put out anything where I'm like, this isn't what I wanted it to be. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I would like it to be representative of my mind's eye. Marley, you are being a little troublesome, aren't you? Go get that. Marley's on this new tip of just standing on my feet from like 9 a.m. to 12. And being like, yo. Streaming some Ghost of Tsushima. Oh my gosh, is that the... Wait a minute. That's where you play as a samurai, yes? Like, it's a pretty hard, like, technical... I mean, I guess first-person fighter, but it's more like... It's not first-person, though, right? It's like a third-person fighter, right? Yes. He comes and, like, stands, like, past me. Well, he just left. He'll use his entire long frame to wrap against my ankles and more or less create some sort of pitfall trap. It's ridiculous. I don't know if you guys can hear the fury of the squeaking behind me. Regardless. Yeah, a good buddy of mine that is a very fabulous actor, he went and basically was like playing that. I don't know how much he streams anymore. He started streaming and he was playing that and I absolutely loved it. I also love that it kind of goes like grayscale, right? Is the whole game in black and white? Or maybe only the hard version? Yeah, Marley, there he is. He's gone. All right, Marley, get that toy. Get that tiny little mini tennis ball and kill it. Yeah, the boy, Mark. Keep it up. Keep it up. Run yourself ragged, my boy. Okay, so OBS, dead to me. Windows, biggest mistake in my streaming career. DnD, still in love with it. This Tuesday campaign, driving me crazy. However, I'm into it again. I can only say I was out of it because I'm back into it, you know? Now, there's sort of a badass move you can do that turns it black and white for a moment. Okay, great. Because I saw that happen when he was streaming it, and, I mean, apologies, Andrew, but I basically saw him die 15 times over the course of an hour in what appeared to be kind of the same encounter. Like, he was trying to creep up on, like, a samurai camp. I don't really know. But these samurais gave him the business. They really chopped him up like a roll of sushi. But the point is, it's a hard game, and I respect that. So you can multiplayer at Foos? Like, are all of y'all going to be playing together? Or is it like a classic 1998 scenario where you're just passing the sticks? You know what I mean? Hey, look, I beat Elden Ring. You know what I mean? I'm a gamer. I'm out here. I'm out here at the highest technical level. You know what I mean? There's a 4-player multiplayer mode. Shit. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Okay, so we haven't played since my last prep stream. And that was by design. I can barely put into words, truly, how intense the past 3 weeks has been. It might as well have been 6 weeks. It might as well have been one fever dream. It all was one. But there's enormous blessing there, and I'm trying to get better in general at holding many responsibilities in my hand, even as some of them fall through my fingers onto the ground, right? But trying to do that calmly, trying to do that without this need to be overly critical of myself or the fates themselves. Life is a beautiful gift, you know what I mean? Like, should I not stream because my window capture is gray? Fuck no. You know what I mean? Should I turn on this play just because I'm playing a guy that's unabashedly a racist and I have to drive to Long Beach to do it? No. It's a beautiful play. And though I'm an ugly piece of it, it's a critical part of the arc. So, God, I love you, Marley. Not right now, buddy. So let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. This campaign, I love it. Dragon of Ishtar Peak, into Homebrew. The two, I will say three big remaining things. The War of the Gods, that is very much background until it gets thrust to the surface, right? I mean, I think anytime you have a BBEG or player versus environment where the gods or divinity is an aspect of that, usually for me, it's either kind of direct God of War, like, no, I'm going to kill Ares, right? Like, oh God, okay, the gods are actually somewhat mortal, maybe, can be killed, let's see. It's either that, or you are fighting the conduits, the acolytes, the physical material manifestation of these divinities. And the latter is more how it exists in my campaign, for sure. I like the idea of some of the old Pantheon, Maliki, Saloon, Bala, Umberlee, Scaravan, almost like being in a war of celestial power determined by physical space. Like, the more of the actual night sky, the more of the Milky Way or the starscape that you embody is a direct amplification of one's own divine power. So that's more peripheral, but will occasionally thrust itself to the surface by way of a very powerful acolyte or a red meteor that precedes a 3-day rain of blood, literal, or dark moving living clouds that seem to hang just off the coast, whatever. And those are all versions of things that have happened over the course of this campaign. But now they've killed the wizard, they've made it to the north, they didn't finish the main battle, and that trickle down effect has been beautiful. So last session, right? Where are we? Okay, great. Yeah, we got a lot of this in there. This is what I wanted to read, though. Was shumpa-dumping up. Yeah. So they're in the Starcatch. Where are you, though? Stand by. Okay, so that's the Dark Hearth. We'll move that down. Yeah. So they ran into these druids last sesh that they'd seen scattered groups of these Ice Shield orcs wandering south, broken, shattered, twisted apart from this great battle, yes, but also from seeing prophecy promised and not realized. I describe some as having driven out their own eyes, others wander, having thrown down their weapons, moving like wraiths across the surface of the Evermoors in the north. They're broken. They are a destroyed form of people. That's kind of the opposite of what's happening with some of the other kind of indigenous peoples, like the Green Fist and the Yippie are, more or less like celebrating the return of Maliki. And like that to me is really satisfying in late campaign stuff, is to be like representative of the impact that the party has had, yes, but also show negatively and positively the way that other people outside the party have been impacted by the actions of the party, of the world, etc. So good with the bad, that I feel like was laid out. This was not near Bixie Creek, super suspicious, yes. Yes, we got all this. They rolled up, they basically came across this mining town called Bixie Creek that was super suspicious, having been infiltrated by members of the Blind Jackals, right? They had people dying mysteriously in the night, and after the course of many weeks, it came to be determined that there was a changeling essentially moving amongst this group, killing seemingly indiscriminately. And as the storm chasers entered, they were met by the Horn of Truth, which is like a Zone of Truth spell, and basically told, what was what. Like, the jackals have been marauding, have been infiltrating themselves with the peoples of the north. The jackals, have been supplying the drow with information. And, basically, Bixie Creek is like, an easily fortified space, but they are living in fear and terror. The North in general is largely wrought with destruction and raiding parties, mostly at night, from these drow. And the last bastion of consolidated strength is in the city of Raven Rock, where much of the North has gathered as a bit of a kind of last stand. So, what of this changeling? What of the stand at Raven Rock? And what of these dark gods and the kind of porous impact of their fingers punching through the material plane? So I think where I would like to start is actually just with, like, physically just kind of editing some of my PDF here, because session 146, right? This is what the last session was. So we did some prep for 147. It's right here, right? And I have many, many thoughts about how this moment will go, and I'll set that up a little bit better. But first, I just want to kind of get things where they need to be. Interesting. Okay, there we go. So let me get this point. So this happened. This also happened. I love it so much whenever I have something like this. At some point, this happens, and a moment arose, and I made it happen. Let's go. The point is, guys, celebrate your wins. Takes me so long to find this one. There it is. Okay, great. Raven Rock in the north, this hasn't happened. The Fire Eaters, they've seen. Mirabar has fallen. Yep. This is great. This is all great. Okay, great. Cool. And again, like, this is a little, like, this reminds me sometimes of whenever I'm writing scripts. You can get a little over-edity, Like, if you wrote something for a previous session, maybe just let it go. But at the same time, sometimes it's valuable. All of this is stuff that they could run into next session. I'd love to have it on hand and be ready for it, Okay. So I think that's all I need to move. Let me double check this, and then we'll pop into it. Yeah, this I could talk a little bit more about right here. I'm going to do this, and then I'm also going to add a little bit of the star catch. Great. I'm going to add this too. Storm Chasers in confusion. Clear of their stance. Or this is Pixie. Companions. Ryan is an NPC from like 3 years ago. There's a encounter in the Dragon of Icespire Peak called the Mountain Togold Mine, and it's run by a man called Don John Raskin. I highly recommend it. He's a bit of a rascal. But Ryan was a were-rat that they captured and actually took to a priest to have healed of the lycanthropic curse. And I always thought that was cool. They kind of gave him a second shot at life. He stayed in Marcine for a little bit, and this was complete, like, Deus Ex Machina stuff. But the idea of once this sort of, war broke out and people started to kind of mobilize. I love the idea of this gentleman. Yo, I love you, Foos. Got to lurk and work. Things are bonkers here. God, I hate that. How can we help? How can we help you? Guys, that is so crazy. It's so strange to me whenever I'm streaming and I see my follower count go down. Only reason I bring that up is because I was about to do a giveaway. And now I feel like, well, you know what? Maybe I can just use that for the next giveaway. I just keep like going like over and back over 200 and keep giving away tank tops. Am I being conned? Am I getting taken advantage of for these tank tops that no one wants or wears? Maybe. Time will tell. But that is the growth that you crave, right? Let me do this, and let me go forward by going backwards. That is the growth I seek. Okay, I feel good about editing this. Foos, what is bonkers, if you don't mind? Yes. Dude, for sure. I honestly, like, I get that a lot on YouTube, where I'll gain, like, whatever, 5 followers and, like, lose 1, 2, whatever it would be. But then there's some where you'll just post and you'll just lose followers. But here's the deal about that. This is something, as an actor, I've really had to plug into. But, man, this can apply to anything. Certainly if you're streaming, even if you're just making, a campaign for your own people, whatever that would be. The game theory aspect, right? Like, take, for example, spam emails. Oh, my God. Buckle up. Clip this. This is about to be a lore drop. Spam emails. Nigerian prince. Whatever you want it to be, right? We will often open those. Maybe I don't like receive that many anymore, right? But you would open them. Nowadays, it'll be like, hey, here's your receipt from Lowe's. And it's like, bitch, I didn't go to Lowe's. What am I getting, like bathtub fixtures? Like, what is this? That is not me. So we look at these emails, we're like, this is insane. Who would ever fall for this? Who would ever click on this, right? But the game theory behind those emails is that they are designed to be somewhat sketchy and not that eloquently executed. The idea being that if someone is clicking through on an email like that, they are probably dumb enough to continue with the con, to follow up on the link, to provide payment details, to get another email asking for more money and supply it, blah, 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 blah. The game theory in spam emails is we build out a trap that is so obvious that only the dumbest of the dumb, and I don't mean it because, like, some of that is also, like, inexperience. Our grandparents maybe didn't spend a ton of time online. But the point is, it's designed to inherently, in the email, be a litmus test for whether or not this person can be conned. And that, my friend, is the same thing that happens every single time I go live. So don't let the door hit you. And I guess we'll just give a giveaway when we get to 200. Fuck it. We back, baby. The giveaway is back. I mean, that's honestly what needs to happen because Mint Puffer TRG is a ghost. Baby girl, baby boy, I don't know where you are, but you gone. You're not even on Twitch anymore. Anyway, I don't take responsibility for driving them all the way off Twitch, just driving them away from my followers list. I digress. So I have this where I need to have it. Let's now talk about like where we left off last time, right? And a lot of this stuff, this unused stuff is more just like me keeping it in mind. Yeah. But I like having this here because like, who knows if they're going to go off and, run into these druids again, or who knows if they're going to go off and try to like use a teleportation circle or use the ethereal plane to bamf somewhere else. Like, the more I have on hand, I mean, you've seen me copy and paste for a year, the easier it is to move stuff from session to session. But also, like, once you get deep into a campaign, I do think it becomes more work because you really do have to bend back in all of these storylines, all of these through lines to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Back me up there. Yo, Mapro. What up, what up, what up? Get in here. Bugles up for a ledge. It's Thursday and we got the map, bro. That's a win. I'm going to close this window. Hold on. Oh. Get in here, baby boy. We're talking about game theory. All right. I'm culling my followers. And we're also getting ready here. Foos, I love that. I have like 6 deadlines due early next week that just came in today. Yikes, man. Ugh. Multiple clients, multiple projects. It's brutal. Oh, you mean like my mother, who was insistent that our internet needed an extra payment. Exactly, Matt, bro. That is exactly what I'm referencing. We're doing our Cheesy Dice giveaway. Foos, how do I join that? All right, I got to check that out. I would love to get in on some Cheesy Dice. You kidding me? That's so good. DnD 30 years in his house. Agreed. Okay, so let it rip. So, let me just jot this in. The star catch will reference... Oh my gosh, baby. You get it done? Oh my god, thank you so much. Did they provide that Dropbox link? Wow. I'm pretty sure that guy undid what he said he was going to do. Just dealing with some self-tape. Chaos. In our chat, just type raffle. Can I do that when you're offline? I know you can unfollow people while they're offline. That I've found out. Is the... Let's do this right now. Yes? I don't think I can. Yeah, we can? Okay, great. All right, here we go. It's happening. Wait. Listen. Great, baby. Oh, he is? Okay. Well, if he wakes up, I'll go get him. My wife just came up and said, I'm taking the dog for a walk. I was like, okay, sick. She goes, he's asleep in the bedroom. And I go, the child? And if you could see this woman's beautiful face, as she goes, yes. So, if we hear weeping, if we hear crying, here we go. Let's go. We're in the chat, baby. Here we go. The point is, this might turn into a babysitting stream. Just buckle up and get ready for that. I received 1 ticket. Wait, can I just spam it and get more tickets? Here we go. Shit. All right. They thought of that. Okay, that's fine. Her and the twin soul. The dark druid. She warns. Okay, great. To come of death rising. An evil long cast down that rises anew. Scarvan and Bala. The lake of fire and the demon princes. So again, this stream is about popping off some D&D shit. You know what I mean? Now, has it been long enough that I can spam it again? You only get 1 ticket. Fuck, they thought of everything. Yo, Sage, I love you, dude. I love it. Thank you so much for Foos encouraging me to put the exclamation point, because I would have forgotten it. Yeah, the gay hate has been exceptionally visceral this year in the last few. Really, Matt, bro? I hate that, man. You mean like when you stream, you get that feedback? Fuck that. The amount of people who are feeling comfortable saying the hate out loud is exponential. Man, I'm so sorry to hear that. Not here. Not here, not today, all right? I hate that, man. You know, it's weird. I mentioned this briefly. I'm like considering taking a role at this really wonderful theater in Long Beach. And it's a really cool play. And it's like a pretty damn good part. But I play like a unabashed racist. And like he's dropping epithets and like, you know. And that in and of itself was super uncomfortable. Like I'm preparing to do, I'm rehearsing these lines, and I find myself like not wanting to do them in front of Waylon. And I'm not trying to like virtue signal at all. Like, I mean, one, I don't want him to like hear these words, but I also, like, I don't even want him to hear me getting that angry. You know what I mean? And there's been so much over the past couple, the pandemic, this sort of like weaponization of partisan politics, the kind of hyper divide of discourse and examination. And, against that backdrop, I do think that plays that highlight, like in a compelling fashion, the not necessarily the complexity, but the impact and the depth of racism in America. Like, I think there's never been more of a need for that. It's just odd to like be asked to play that role. And let me be honest with you, like 25 to 35 white male actors, ask any fucking one of them, like the past 6 years, 7 years, tons of like just straight up racist roles where you're like, I want you to come in and drop this slur and then leave. And you're like, what? Tons of that, but tons and tons and tons of like sexual assault. Like, hey, it's a short film. It's about a guy who meets a girl and immediately drugs her. And it's all the stuff where it's like, but at the same time, that shit happens. And I don't mean to like, shrug it off. I more mean it to say that like that back and forth of like, of me, John, the artist, like, do I want to do that? Yo, Jake Lake! We got a first time chatter as I'm ranting about race. Hey, big boy. I assume you're a big boy. Your name's Jake. Get in here. Okay, I cannot wait to read this. I'm about to get in here. I did not know. Sorry, I didn't have the chat up. I apologize, I missed this. Okay. They said the bar for 2SL LGBTQA exceptionally low because now we're just happy if people defend us and support us, like a normal person should do. Got it. I played a damn good part one time. I had to play the Hoover Dam, and they used me as a fucking wall. Okay. Welcome to the Chat Hall of Fame, Jake. What the hell is that? I love it. I'm not going to pretend to understand it. Oh, that is so good. They had me play a fucking wall. Hey, I love you right back, Matt Bro. We're here. Hybrid Divide in Discord, agreed. Yeah, it's tough. I feel that racism is very much like sex scenes in theater and movies. There's no sense to make the whole thing. Man, I feel that. I feel that big time. Jake, get in here. Oh, are we back at 200 followers? Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Let's go. Oh shit, am I frozen? I'm back, right? Okay, tight. Hey, they taketh, but Jake giveth. Let's have a fucking giveaway, man. We'll do it. Into this stream, we're doing a giveaway. Fuck it. Welcome to the party, Jake. I'm Carpe the DM. I'm a voice actor here in LA. Stream a ton of D&D content. Also voiced a character in Red Dead Redemption that I'm trying to find in-game and hogtie and commit war crimes upon. I'm just going to hop into my Discord giveaway and be like, we're doing a giveaway, fuck it. Chat is doubled. Get in here. Smooches. Okay. Yeah, man, I think you're probably right. Are you a DM, Jake? Do you play D&D, play tabletop? I ask because, like, safety tools obviously, like, a huge part of it. Like, how people use safety tools in Session 0, huge kind of discussion. I love interviewing DMs. I love asking them how they normally do these things. But, at the same time, it's like, am I going to, like, if I have a sheet that I use for safety tools, like this just came up. I played with Foos and her crew. Incredible. We're playing Cthulhu. We have one more coming in at some point. Who knows? But I sent them kind of my standard, checklist of like, hey, green light, yellow light, red light, let me know, blah, blah, blah. At the same time, like, I feel like I know them really well. So not that I would consider not doing the checklist, because it's the first time we've all played and I want everyone to feel safe. So like, absolutely, I'm going to do that. But let's say that if Foos came back and was like, hey, this is a hard line for me. Like, I don't know how to put this. I would feel comfortable, like maybe not asking her like, oh, hey, can I do this? But more being like, oh my gosh, got it. You don't want any like suicide to happen in front of you. What if you as investigators come across a body of someone that might have self-harmed? You know what I mean? Like that difference of watching someone do it versus coming across the aftermath. Might seem like the same thing, but it's really not. And we get that in film and TV all the time, whenever it's like, okay, fuck, like the torture, like, oh my gosh, please don't pull out his fingernails. Like just cut to the end of it. Sometimes I think the story is bettered by like having that gut-wrenching experience. Sometimes it's just excessive. You know what I mean? So that is, I think, but it's an interesting question to kind of ask. This Tuesday game that I play with, like it is all people that I love dearly. Half of them are actors. Almost all of them are creatives in one shape or form. And man, I would take chances with that table that I wouldn't take elsewhere. And that to me is not much different than being an improviser or a stand-up comedian. And dude, I'll never forget this. I'm in Prague. I had a comedy series that did really well. We won Best TV Series at the Prague Film Festival. A dear friend of mine who's a fabulous actor, he and I went to do Prague Shakespeare like 10 years ago. No, more than that. Long time, like 2012. And we're there, we're chopping it up. It's incredible. Prague is an insane place. We're in Old Vyšehrad. It's literally an 11th century castle, and we're doing Romeo and Juliet, and it's insane. But he and his name's Jared. God, I just forgot all about this story. He and I are doing improv, and we're getting paid to do it. We're getting paid essentially like 100 crowns, which is like, or no, it was like 1,000 crowns, which was like $80. So we go to this bar. We're there all the time. They know us. We've done a show, maybe 2 shows, and now we come back to do an improv show. Prague is very international. Tons of people speak English. Most of Eastern Europe, most of Europe, right, is pretty like sexually expressive. The Czech are no exceptions. So we're there. And we're like, all right, guys, how we doing? I'm John. This is Jared. Like, we are the Deux Facons. Okay, all we need to get started is a one-word suggestion. Whatever you got, throw it out. And this woman, who I have to think had about 9 ounces of grain alcohol in her body at that point, screams out, penis! And you know what? We, to our credit, didn't miss a beat. We were like, penis, yes, all right. We look at each other, penis! And then we do the set. And man, the set was awful. Awful. I can't remember what we did. I think we started in like a dildo factory. I'm so sorry. This is getting so aggressive. The point is, if that happened to me now, I would simply be like, oh, no, we're not doing that. What else do we have? You know what I mean? And like, it really is that easy to be like, yay, no, like I'm out, Okay. Yeah, we fully trusted your checklist. I love that. No, Foos, I appreciate that. That was also just out of respect to y'all's crew. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever want you guys to feel like I'm taking things for granted. You know what? Agreed. Exactly, Jake. Like, you know what? And I think there's beauty, like, well, let me see what you said. So you played D&D a little bit, huh? Twice, but I'm designing a campaign, been researching, assisting with it for many years. I do a 3D printing. Oh, that's sick as fuck. Yo, I appreciate the moxie and the jib. Let's go. That's hilarious. Appreciate that, Jake. Yeah, so we played Cthulhu, right? Which is a similar system to D&D. It's designed to be way more horror-based, right? Like Lovecraftian chaos and horror. And in that example you gave, I love the idea of playing with, oh shit, like, was this a suicide? Or was this a murder? And that's an example where somebody that on their checklist might be like, hey, I do not want suicide to happen in front of me, might very well be A-okay with that kind of compelling, off-screen potential of like, okay, someone died. That happens in storytelling and tabletop all the time. But someone died, and it looks like they killed themselves. But did they? Like, they had X, Y, or Z. They just purchased tickets to this event. They had a young child at home. They had so much to live for. There's many things that point to that not being the case, right? So my point being is like there's a nuance to it, and whenever we communicate and get a feel for how our table will respond to it, it's just that much better that we can weave it into the story in a compelling fashion. So I love that, Jake. That's tight. Honestly, when it comes to boundaries, I read the line of boundaries, but it fuels creativity. And it's like a puzzle that you have to work out before the players. And that's what I'm saying. It's like you can take that, right? It's the same thing as like that meme of being like there's things you can say. Oh my God, insomnia. Guys, insomnia's here. Yeah, we were talking about suicide and racism. Insomnia, get in here, baby boy. When you drive with the right crew, hey man, I agreed. Jake, that's hilarious. Yo, that's how I feel whenever my my USB mouse shows up. That's hilarious. Yo, Vog, get in here. Okay, come on. Mystery, crossbow in hand, bolt in head, sulfur leading to the body. Okay, any suggestions on the karaoke? Because I got, in a beautiful way, it was great to rap, Fuzba, Mapro, Vogel, and Jake. Thank you very much for just having a discourse and discussion with me. All right, I appreciate it. But let's do this. Let's get this man his audition tape. And then honestly, hell yeah. I think I'm probably going to end it with a karaoke. I'll do it for you now. Fuck it. But the point is that I still have, there's a lot of D&D that I have on my heart. This is getting to a point for me within the story. And yo, Insomnia, get ready to tell me to stop. Okay. Type stop into the chat. Something always takes forever. Joke's on you, dude. I started low and I'm going high. Do it, Insomnia. Okay, thank God. All right, which one is this? I'm gonna vet these. I'm gonna vet this real quick. Tired of struggling to put on your shoes. Go hands free. Oh God. All right, now. We'll do the one just above that. So, hi, my name's John. This is cracking me up because there was one time like a year ago that I streamed a audition, right? And I had to do a couple auditions, but one of them was for a cyclist. Do you guys remember this? Okay, I already have it in frame. Incredible. Oh my God. Okay, so the point is I had to go and I had to like show my butt. And I'm only remembering it because I was also wearing this shirt, which is like a cycling vest. Why not both? Vog, you got a point. You got a point, girl. Okay, you went to the shoe one? All right, we're going to do the shoe one. Fuck it. This one just, I remember being like, I just can't remember the sequence. Like, where even am I? That's what I can't figure out. Like, I'm not sure where I am. This is not my apartment. This might have been when we were renting the apartment next door. I don't know. Okay, we'll pause the music. This is a great example. Let's see if we can bring this up real quick. Let me see. Let me see if I can bring up the actual breakdown of this spot. Yeah, here we go. Here it is. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for your patience. We're about to dive so deep. It's about to be deep. About to go deep. Okay. You guys can see this, eh? Yes. Great. God willing, there's nothing that is, inaccurate here. Okay, you know what? We're just going to not do any of this. Fuck it. But here's the breakdown. It basically said direct to camera. We want a hero, 25 to 40. it's for Skechers slip-ins, right? And if you're familiar with Skechers slip-ins, they're normally marketed for old people. Like all of the campaigns are like, celebrity sports stars in their 70s that are like, I don't use my hands anymore. Skechers. This was, I guess, an attempt to punch it up. I don't know. I shot this in April. So how I didn't get it, anybody's guess. Where I am whenever I'm shooting this, equally unknown. Anybody's guess out there. So, with no further ado, wait. And I hope this doesn't echo. I don't think it will. Here we go. Tired of struggling to put on your shoes? Go hands-free, like I did, with hands-free Skechers slip-ins. You just slip in, and they're on, without ever having to touch your shoe. It's like they have a built-in shoehorn that allows your foot to slip into place and stay there. Okay, let me assure you, this was like my 17th take, and this was hard to get in. Because this is what always happens, dude, every single time, is that on these direct-to-camera spots, right, they want you to be like direct-to-camera, right down the barrel, talking warm and conversational and blah, 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 blah. But if you don't know the fucking script, it is so hard to maintain eye contact. And that dance is what every actor knows so well. And I hate it and I love it. And on this one, I kind of pulled it off. At minimum, I'm like direct to camera. You know what I mean? Okay, let's finish it. And with their exclusive heel bumper, the foot stays comfy and secure. How fun, how cool. Slip-ins come in all kinds of different styles. Some with laces, some without. So end the struggle. Go hands-free with Skechers slip-ins. I guarantee you I was boiling with I mean, like, honestly, that's like some of the best acting work I've ever done. Because I guarantee you I hated that spot. I hate that shit. Where it's just like, hey, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's a living. But, like, who cares? You know what I mean? Hi, my name's John Phillips. I'm 5'11", and I live in LA. Ah, the classic jump back. Okay. Look, does it get any better than that? No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that's it. Pretty sure that's the top of the performance ladder right there. Yeah, okay. Okay, let me catch up on chat. Fuck. All right. Insomnia, I'm going to end the stream with a karaoke into a raid. All right. I love you. You know I do. You know I mean that. But I have got to blast because this is going to be a big session. We're playing tonight. I want to make sure I'm ready to rock on this. Let me catch up with chat real quick. Appreciate y'all. Dude, for what it's worth, Insomnia, I'm about to mail my CPU back to Cobra type. Like, there's been all kinds of driver errors, man. It's been driving me crazy. Yeah. Okay, come on, let's chop it up. I do pretty well with mystery and serious style writing, but players want to have fun and laugh, so I'm torn. As to include written comedy in the story or just propose situations to make fun of. Right. Because we're all laughing, and it's not like it's hurting my feelings. Got you. You know, for me, man, like, I'm a goof and a comedian. I like to write drama and mystery and, like, Shakespearean epic stakes. At the same time, sometimes I'll find myself just playing a character that's like the skeletal ghost of a leprechaun. You know, like there's like the comedy will find its way in. So I imagine, Jake, you're probably in that same vein, you know, where like write your shit, baby boy, and I guarantee you the goofiness will still arise. That's just like the nature of it, you know? Yeah, exactly, Insomnia. I mean, that's basically the spot. It's like, hey, back whenever I used to have hands, putting on shoes was a breeze. But ever since I opened that package and my hands exploded. Yeah, I mean, look, man, it ain't pretty. I tried to move on to a different audition tape because I recognized what that spot was. Ay. Hands-free slip-on condoms. That is so fucking funny. It's like it's like one of those little, like, those like bubble blowers struggling with putting on protection? Oh my God. Okay. Look, foos. The crotch shots, that wasn't on me, man. That was requested by casting. Yeah, shoehorn is absurd. I mean, again, like, is anybody on this stream, anybody within 15 years of anybody on this stream, do we give a fuck about tying shoes? Like, who is sitting there being like, man, I have to tie my shoes again? No, there's security in laces. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, they've got them and they apply super quick. It's like a spray-on condom. Okay, we're out. That is so good. Guys, I love y'all. Hey, I'm not running for president because of streams like this. Because of streams like this. I mean, honestly, dude, what kills me, Insomnia? And this is like, dude, I mean, you, like, Root gave me his opinion, Ninners, like, so many people who are extremely tech savvy and whose opinion I value, like, gave me some great advice. I can be very OCD. And I was so nuanced and specific, man. And I think that's what drives me crazy is like, I mean, big investment, a lot of money. And some aspects are great. Like whenever I'm rendering, whenever I'm processing video, whenever I'm doing like work stuff. But it's a ton of weird little things. The hard drive formatting, like that I cannot have. But it's more that feeling, and we all know it, of like wanting to feel happy with a purchase. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like whenever you buy a new blazer or whatever and you go home and you put it on and it looks even better. Ooh wee! Like I love that shit. It's the worst feeling in the world whenever you order it, you get home, you put it on, it's like, it's a little tight or it kind of pinches your pinky toe a little bit. That sticks with you. It saps the joy of it. Now, I don't want my joy to come from like consumerism alone, but my previous computer was purchased in 2014. Okay? Back then, I also put a ton of money into it. It was almost like buying two computers. I know. But dude, here's the thing. Insomnia, if I built it, it would like, if I built this thing and I was having these issues, I would be even more frantic because I wouldn't know what the heck was going on. Or if it was something I messed up. Is it hardware? Is it software? Like, that's where I'm dying. But I have it mostly narrowed down, and it's all good, you know? Keep in mind another thing about the practice of theater. I've only read studies on body language, but hands in pockets lead to reservation. Yeah. For sure. You can always tell in movies based off of crossing arms and self-hugging symptoms, yeah, that they're going to counter and be in opposition to the events. Exactly. Totally. Bubble blower. Get out of here. Yeah. Get blown with protection. Yeah, Jake, I feel that. I mean, one of the greatest instructors I ever had, Dr. Sidney Berger. You should Google this guy. He's a beast. Legend. Incredibly well respected. Unbelievable with Shakespeare. Unbelievable with verse and meter. It's tough. Near the end of his life, he was suffering from dementia. And I remember, this is so bizarre, he actually came back over for the end of the run in Prague. They flew him to Prague. And it's because the director of Prague Shakes is an American actor named Guy Roberts, who's fabulous. He's in Wheel of Time, the current season of Amazon, although he was murdered at the end of season 2. Shout out, Guy. Respect. But Guy's wonderful. I've worked with him many times. Like, I honestly, like, he's, yeah, in ways a mentor. Like, I love watching him rehearse, how he uses rehearsal. He's an incredibly powerful actor. But he brought over Sydney to speak at and speak for the Shakespeare Company and to direct to a degree. And man, I don't really know why I'm telling this story other than like, he used to do this thing. He only had one good eye. And he used to do this thing. I'm not sure which one it was. Let's say his like good eye was his left eye. He would do this thing where he would like kind of rest like this covering his good eye, and just listening. Sometimes he would do that for an hour of rehearsal. Just listening. Because that intonation, the rhythm of overlapping lines, like that in and of itself is like a symphony. Like you should be able to glean enormous amounts of information just from the cadence and timing of the dialogue. He would often do what you're talking about, Jake, the exact opposite, where he would go and stand in the far back. He didn't hear that well, and would just be way in the back, just watching. Like you should be able to, not as much in film and TV, but you should be able to like turn the sound off a play and still kind of know what's going on, in my opinion. Not always, but a lot of times, you know? Okay, you guys are killing me. I'm an IT guy and I know how to turn it off, but I haven't figured out how to turn it back on. Just ask my fiance. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? They have somebody just like giving them like braille handouts. Okay. Insomnia, I love you. You got your audition tape. I will karaoke at the end of this. If you have a request, let me know. Everybody else, yo, what's up, baby boy? Gervanch, I love you. Shout out to a real one. I'm actually going to do this shout out because I'm not sure that this worked last time. Let me make sure this works. Is this going to work? Come on, baby. Kick in. Come on. Yeah, there's my guy.
What's up, shorty? Welcome to stream. Looking pretty.
Yes. Honestly, that is G in a nutshell. That's perfect. I love that, dude. Hey, man, right back at you. I'm playing Smee in a production of Peter Pan. And I'm playing him like sort of like an old kind of, like pretty straightforward kind of, somewhere in Belfast. Kind of a chummy guy, Oh, well, Captain. Well, what if we stole the boy's mother and we made her our mother? Like everyone is going real hard with like the piratey, like shabba-dabba, dabba-dabba. Bro, you have the best clips, man. Right as you're complimenting my mustache, you come in there looking pretty as heck. Come on. Okay, this is the deal. D&D time. Engage. Pew, 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 pew. We've talked about a lot of it. I then derailed it with some social issues and some lollygagging, and now we are back. But the main point in the ending of last session was that the party had come into this mining community. I'll bring up the map. You guys saw it last time. And they came in. This is the Dark Heart. This is where they're probably headed. Ooh, I can't wait for them to face those guys. But they came into Bixie Creek. Where are we? Where are you, Bixie? Is this it? No. Here it is. Yes. So they came into Bixie Creek, and, it was a place rife with suspicion. There'd been all these murders. There'd been all these deaths. There'd been a changeling assassin moving around, taking people out. And the end of last session saw the party walk into this tent over here, where the small blue dragon is, and go over there because basically there were some individuals that had been associated with the Blind Jackals. The Blind Jackals are a criminal organization. They're run by a guy named Trent, who sort of talks like kind of an old world Sicilian, kind of like that uncle you had that you didn't know how he made money. And Trent is more or less a mob boss, a crime figure. But Trent was an integral piece of one of our players' backstories. Basically, the monk who is where? Right there. Slight the monk basically worked in Waterdeep, worked for the Blind Jackals, was given a contract to take out an individual, didn't know who it was. Ended up it was actually the niece of the king, but at the time was like an 8-year-old girl named Annabelle. He refused, didn't want to kill a woman, didn't want to kill a child, and as such fell afoul of the Jackals. That was about 3.5 years ago in-game. Actually, probably more like 4.5. And a lot has changed. But the Jackals themselves, this criminal organization, have made a connection and an alliance with the Drow. And now the two of them, the Jackals on the surface, the Drow from beneath, honestly, like, have the surface and the forces of the cities of men on their heels. So they rolled into Bixie Creek. They've been dealing with this, interspersement of Blind Jackals and kind of this rising suspicion where no one really knows who they can trust and who they can't. That was compounded, of course, by one of them being a changeling. And the party walked into this tent, and when they walked out of it, they saw shock wash across people's faces as the old kind of elven man that they'd walked into ceased her. As they walked out, there was a second sister who kind of like looked out, well, who the hell are you? Well, who the hell are you? And they kind of came up to each other in this hilarious, Mexican standoff-ish started to happen. Ooh, dang it, guys. I hear Waylon. Fuck. Okay, give me 2 minutes. Guys, that was close and very scary. That was extremely... Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Heard a big wail. I was like, oh, God, don't turn this into a babysitting stream, please. And we didn't. So we're good. Disaster averted. Yeah. Waylon is my son. Yes. He is just turned 4 months old, Oh, my gosh, that's amazing. Watched a lot of LP online. That's great. I don't know if you ever played games, but if you ever heard of Elden Ring, it's got a pretty intense story. Oh, dude. Jake. Did someone say map? Get in here, map bro. Jake, I started streaming by streaming Elden Ring. I'd never played a FromSoft game. I'd never played a Souls game. Ended up beating it, bro. Ski-yee! Now, did it take me a very long time? Did I die? Did I play a sorcerer, the easiest character? Yeah, I did. But I beat it. And I actually ran out of mana and had to kill the Elden Beast with a fucking whip. Come on! That is the story that I once sung at my funeral. Man, I know we haven't been able to pull another session. I don't know if Rachel will be able to join us. No! Are you kidding me? Wait a minute. What? He's off-grid in Canada? Gervant, you got to explain, dude. Like, what's going on? Did he go up there to take a job? Did he wander into the wilderness? That's cool, Jake. Check that out. Okay, so the premise of your D&D campaign is that 5 chosen souls, had their souls siphoned by a lich, but were nearly saved by the gods and repositioned into new bodies. Interesting. Interesting. How were those 5 souls chosen? That's very cool. Matt Pro, I appreciate it, guys. Like, it is such a blessing and such a game changer. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced. Yeah, for real. When should they know better? Around like 5? I know. Vogue, I know. I didn't consider that when we named him, and we have walked into it. Okay, we're good. Is it Matt Pro? Get in here, man. Well, we're having a giveaway at the end of this stream, which will be kicked off by me singing karaoke. So perfect. I know. DLC comes out really soon. God, I completely forgot about that. Gervanch, we are enemies. But at the same time, I love that game, dude. Elden Ring has kind of ruined other games for me, Ratio stopped the podcast and streaming. I think he went there for higher studies. Does that mean he's eating mushrooms in the woods of British Columbia? Did he go out there to trip acid and sit at the foot of a shaman? I hope so. Ratio's a beast. Now, Ratio and Phoenix are your two buds. And Ratio is the more kind of tempered, reserved one. And Phoenix is a little bit more like me, right? Kind of like popping off. A bit more chaotic, yes? I say that devoid of critiques. So guys, the session ended. One old elf that is like the leader of Bixie Creek. Another identical old elf. It's the Spider-Man meme. They're pointing at each other. The party doesn't know what the fuck to do. They're doing insight checks. Everyone's starting to kind of panic and freak out. And I'm just realizing something. And this is going to be the sequence that goes down. Let me see if I have this real quick. Do I have a coatl in here? Let me see. So the cleric cast Summon Celestial. Where is a coatl? Well, let's just go here and find one, huh? And he summoned a coatl. Let's take a look at this stat sheet real quick because it is... That's what it looks like. God damn. How do we pronounce it? Coatl, yes? Okay, whatever. I never know which of these, like Forgotten Realms is not the one. Like it's fine, but I want the stat block. Thank you. Here we go. Jesus Christ. You can summon this? Languages all? Is this what he summoned with a 5th level spell? This thing is insane. Okay, whatever. Okay, so it has True Sight. Let's check that out. This is really what I'm wondering. If you summon a creature with True Sight, you don't have True Sight, they have it. At first, I wasn't sure they could communicate, but apparently coatls speak all languages telepathically. Like, please tell me that's not the case. Okay, let's dive into True Sight, because what's about to happen here, guys, is this. And this is why I titled it Springing the Trap. Because there's something I've talked about and gets talked about a lot, and I think it's important in D&D. Jake, this is, in my opinion, a visceral and critical fork in the road for any dungeon master or keeper. But it's the idea of the ogre at the crossroads. And that is essentially this. That before the session starts, we, the DM, are planning an encounter. And the party's on a road. And the road forks to the left, and it forks to the right. And to the left is an ogre waiting to crush their skulls and attack them. To the right is a village where they can resupply and heal up, etc. The two schools, and there might be more, but that can be broken down from this scenario are, in some DM's campaigns, the ogre is always on the left, and the town is always on the right, period. For other DMs, the ogre is going to be on whatever side the party goes to, right? And there was one situation like a year and a half ago where I did the latter, where the ogre was going to be there regardless. And in my opinion, that's how Critical Role happens a lot. Like the most recent session, there's a very cool like cavern that the party came across and uncovered some stuff. Maybe there were multiple options, but it feels to me like that cavern was going to be happened upon regardless. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I think that's a big part of storytelling. Like, some stuff you have to have set in stone. You know what I mean? Otherwise, like, why the heck are we doing it? Like, you know what I mean? Let me just put this on real quick. Oh my gosh, is that my boy? Is that my little slinky boy? Come here, long ears. Ooh. Oh, Marley always comes back so dirty and hot. Hey, lover. He screamed a little bit, but he went back. So in this situation, the ogre at the crossroads is essentially, is this guy, this other Seaster, this other old elf, is he inherently the changeling? And I'm not going to lie to you. Before the start of the last session, yeah, he was. But we literally ended with the cleric right here summoning this coatl, which I'll just go ahead and get an image of because we'll need it. See if I can save this. Cool. And that's where we kind of dropped off. It's like, oh my gosh, the coatl has true sight. It looks at the two of them and his boy basically points at one and is like, that is not as it seems. But the trap and the twist is that is not actually the changeling. The changeling is this other character, Bilbin. And that the figure that is representing the high elf simply has disguised self cast upon him. So, is that a little cheeky? Yeah, it is. It's a little cheeky. But, sorry, let me just get this real quick. Perfect. Great. Great. Is it really that easy? Oh, incredible. So I think we have it. Let me just drop this coatl in so we have it here. But that to me is like... That to me is actually... Like, it's not a thought I had until we were in the moment. And because we were ending the session, I felt pretty comfortable being able to be like, hey, let me think about this. Like, how can I punch this up? How can I kind of elongate this? And I'll tell you the reason why in a second. Let me just make sure that this worked. Okay, I'm not sure that this actually is a PNG. It looks like it's a JPEG, right? Yeah, okay. Again, I'm going to chalk that up to the new CPU. What the F? What the F? All right, excuse me as I again attempt to add this coatl. Stand by. Coatl forthcoming. You're going to take a little crack and a coatl. Here we go. Hang on. Okay, great. So, what's up with you, big boy? Cool. Huh. Okay, interesting. I don't know why I have to save it twice. That's very weird to me, but there we are. The coatl as a PNG. Thank you for your patience. Let me add this bad boy in, and then we shall rippeth. Great. Okay, so here's my question to you. The sequencing is this. It takes a minute to cast Summon Celestial. As that's happening, the party is like doing all kinds of wild shit. Like they're trying to ask them questions. They don't know them well enough to be able to like really uncover some of this stuff. But my question is this. If the coatl pops out here, let's say, and is it a large creature? It's a medium celestial, so it's about the same size. Cool. It has true sight. This guy right here is actually like a blind jackal human that has disguised self cast on him and has the actor feat that helps him imitate Seaster's voice. Oh, sort of is like an old dying leprechaun. But would this coatl inherently recognize that Bilbin is a changeling? I think so. I think so. So let's talk about that in a sec. I have a couple thoughts because basically combat is about to break out. I have all of these tokens being identical, but what they are, members of Bixie Creek, average commoners for the most part. Many of them are like miners and, stonemasons, that kind of thing. But half of them, or 40% of them, are blind jackals, are these like heavily capable, criminal monks for the most part. So as this happens, it's going to be like, oh shit, like chaos is going to break out. Like the jackals are going to start attacking the members of Bixie Creek. I'm going to describe it as like bedlam. They look around and a bunch of individuals that are not wearing uniform armor or, demarcations of any kind fall into combat. You see some of them being like, oh shit, like some of them about to fight each other and not sure what side they're on. Two things need to happen in my mind. Bilbin, the actual changeling, needs to either make himself scarce or try to act in a way that makes him seem legitimate. Like he should maybe attack the fake Seaster or something like that. That's one option. The other option is, there's this guy up here called Falm. Falm works for Trent Paragraph, who's right there. Trent is sort of like the main boss of the Blunt Jackals, He's a guy that just sometimes has to get his hands dirty. And Falm is kind of like his left-hand man. Pretty high-level sorcerer, level 14, can do a lot of shit. So I think that Falm might immediately either try to take out the Coatl or break concentration on the cleric's spell, right? So I know I've just spieled a buttload. Thank you for your patience. What do we think? And as we think about that, let me pull back in. On this chat, that is. Oh my gosh, bless. I love this ratio disappeared. He's also having a French cut and speaking Punjabi. Wait, what? Since there are so many Indians out in Canada? I did not know that. Are there really a lot of Indians in Canada? I had no idea. Yes, exactly, Matt Pro. It is. This is about to be very scary. Coatl. Okay, great. That's one heckin' danger noodle. The puppy lives. Coatls are the descendants of Jazarian. I did not know that. Holy shit. Mapro, that is awesome. I'm just going to open a tab that says Coatl lore. Okay, I'm just going to come back to that. That is rad. Thank you for dropping that on me. Very fucking cool. The Coatls are unbelievably celestial and powerful just because of the lore they're connected to. At least for D&D. Got it. Got it. Yes, it is, exactly. Yes, True Sight reveals all pretty much. Okay. Yeah, great. Okay. So this is what the sequencing is going to be. Okay, fuck. God, we're touching on a lot of stuff, and I haven't streamed in so long, so I'm just like bugging out. One thing I love to speak on, because so many DMs build Homebrew. And to be honest, like, it's fucking rowdy. Like, Jake, everything you've talked about, awesome, right? Like, you put a lot of thought into it. You're absolutely right that Elden Ring would be an incredible D&D campaign, especially some of the dungeons, right? Like, that freaking dungeon where it's just lava everywhere in those little, like, iron lawnmower guys that just buzz up and down the lava. You know the one I'm talking about. That was one of the worst experiences of my life. I streamed that, and I was in that one spot for 3 hours. Anyway, I eventually found a way. But the point is that regardless of what your impetus is, like, it's beautiful to create Homebrew. And whenever we have different systems, be they Cthulhu, be they D&D, whatever it is, like, we then fit that story into the mechanics of the world, right? I always talk about with Homebrew, at least for me, I often like to have almost like the end in mind. And it doesn't have to be hard and fast. I mean, obviously things will change. You have no idea what your party's going to do. You have no idea what's going to happen. But the imagery of this wizard having a fly spell inside this enormous ancient centrifuge, like this like whirlpool beneath the city, as it cracked with green lightning and this arcane power. That was always this image that like was the BBEG battle. And bringing it to bear is truly one of the most satisfying artistic endeavors of my life. I mean, period, you know? So with this changeling, you know, we'd been working towards this huge battle at the north, Ice Shield Orcs versus this ancient dragon. There's a second dragon, like a third factor in the mix. What's going to happen? Who's fighting who? And the party lost, and they fled into the Underdark. And as I had to kind of roll for some stuff and kind of try to find the trickle-down effect of like what would lead to what, I thought of this changeling. I was like, you know what? The blind jackals and the drow, they're both very sneaky. They both work from the shadows. I think largely they've infiltrated the cities and communities of the north in such a way that they're able to actually give information elsewhere. Like they're able to go... Interesting. And so with this changeling, the image I had in my mind was of them coming across Billman, who's sort of like this old, kind of tough as nails, kind of prospector type. I think of him as being a bit like a East Texas, Louisiana fella. Hard, you know. He was born in Waterdeep, sure, but he headed north as quick as he could. And that's Bilbin right here. He's got like a blue beard. He's a dwarf. 2 axes, badass. But I always had this image in my mind of they leave Bixie Creek and they either go to fight the drow at one of the strongholds or they push into the mines of the Darkheart, which we haven't really talked about, but that's been explained to my party. And if they go in the Darkheart, they will find, like bound and left for dead, Bilbin, with an even longer beard, the blue of it faded, his eyes bloodshot, his skin pale and sallow. And they'll pull off the gag. Help me. They tied me. Help me. Some demon. He tied me up. They jumped me. A bunch of humans. And they will have left a Bilbin in Bixie Creek, traveled elsewhere, and discovered a Bilbin tied up. And I'm hoping that that moment is like an aha to the max, where they're like, oh shit, the changeling was Bilbin. But as is often the case, you never know what your party's going to do. They love tossing out, you know, random curveballs. Who knows? So it feels to me like something needs to happen immediately to prevent this coatl from immediately seeing what's going on. So I think as that happens, I'm going to have them roll for initiative. And, oh, my bad, Marley. I had no idea that he was on my... I mean, you were directly behind me, dude. But Falm up here, the sorcerer, is going to cast... I'm not sure. Fireball, delayed fireball, maybe. Who the F is this? Huh. Let me see what this info is. I wonder why he's not there. Well, who was this originally? Interesting. Okay, whatever. So we'll figure out what that is. Oh my god. You dead. But do we feel like that's too cheeky? Like, should we automatically give the coatl a line of sight on Bilbin? You know? Would it know that he has a spell cast on him? Though he would see right through it and he may not see an issue with it, right? I agree, Jake. It's a tough call. In the situation of the disguised self and the 2 elves, the 2 sisters, the cleric was pretty specific, was like, you know, one of these men is not actually an old elf. Which one is it? And the coatl looked at them both and motioned at the fake one. And I think that's enough. Like, if this coatl is summoned and it looks over, all it sees, you know what I mean? I guess it sees a changeling. It sees a changeling's true form. Would it immediately react negatively to that? Let's roll for it. Thank you, baby. Let's roll for that. I think on a 13 or higher, it would negatively react. Oh, shoot. Ah! Hold up. Okay, so where are you, dice box? Is it over here? It's here. Wait a minute. Ah, I did it again. Does Albert no longer have dice? Surely not. Attachments, notes. What? Oh, here it is. This is it. Ah! I cannot believe it doesn't have dice. Wow. I mean, I'm like kind of sad. That was one of my favorite things about Albert was like making a dramatic roll public for my table. Okay, I'll roll for it after the fact. You're running FR though. Is the Forgotten Realms, right? So those Coatls will have the same ability detecting evil around them as paladins. It will be palpable. So here's the thing. I agree. We have a paladin in the party. Changelings are Fey. And Fey is not included in a paladin's divine sight. But let's check out the Coatl stat block here. Radiant. Okay, resistant, immunities. Wow. Very cool. Charisma. So it has detect evil and good, detect magic, detect thoughts. Change shape. The Coatl magically polymorphs into a humanoid or beast that has a challenge rating equal to or less than its own, or back into its true form. It reverts to its true form if it dies. Blah, 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 blah. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So, Mapro, this is where I'm landing on it. I agree it has that detect evil at will. I don't think the Fae are inherently evil. But is this guy's alignment evil? Yes, absolutely. If he casts detect evil, let's read the specifics of that spell. Let's see the specifics, because I know it's a range. Okay. Oh, casting one action. Okay, very well. Range 30 feet. For the duration, you know if there is an aberration celestial. Ooh, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet, as well as where the creature is located. Similarly, you know if there's a place or object within 30 feet that has been magically consecrated or desecrated. Interesting. Spell can penetrate most barriers. Cool. Okay, so... Okay. This is a summoned creature. It rolls its own initiative, but follows the orders of the summoner. And if there are no orders, it simply defends itself. So this Coatl has just been ripped from the astral plane, or like the celestial field, brought here to the material plane. It obviously knows Calder, the one that summoned it, but it doesn't know Joe from Schmo in terms of what's going on. I'm going to have the party roll initiative. I'm going to roll initiative for most of the named NPCs, like both Seasters, Bilbin. I need to add Ryan in there, and then I'll roll for Falm and for Trent, although Trent might never reveal himself. I think he'll probably just, at some point, they'll see this smoldering cigar. They know exactly who the fuck that is. If the cleric rolls before Falm, the sorcerer, the cleric is here, I guess I'll make him roll initiative for the Coatl, but I'll give him that option. I mean, I don't think inherently the Coatl just has a detect evil up. I don't think that happens automatically. I think when they're summoned, that has to be initiated by the summoner. Right? I think that's where we're at. Okay. I'm loving it, man. I think it should be actually go for the cleric's concentration because it would be easier to defeat than facing the Coatl completely, 100%. Yes. I believe there are two, actually. Hit me with that. A really fun idea that I want to do, but I need to script it out, is have the players come in as themselves and there are no player sheets. The interactions as the players have with the world is the skills they develop. That's rad. That's honestly like close to Cthulhu, and I love that. Like having actual real world experience positively or negatively impact your skill set. That's real life, baby. How do you handle comedic scenarios? I'm really good at improv and rolling with punches, so to speak, but setting up a joke with a punchline and an environment is evading me vigorously. So, like, comedy, I feel like, is not evergreen, you know? Comedy is very much about timing. I once had somebody ask me how I would describe comedy, or how would you describe something being funny? And I don't know that this is necessarily it, but I think it's close to this, which is that comedy or a joke is like if you're driving in a car and you see the road start to bend to the right, and you kind of instinctively start to prepare to go to the right, and all of a sudden the car jams to the left. Like, there's an expectation that's set up that then is broken in a comedic fashion. Often that is ironic or unexpected or something that's kind of a fish out of water. Those are usually the three big areas of comedy. For the most part, comedic things in my campaigns come up pretty naturally. It's rare that I'm like, I'm going to make this a funny bit. It's more whenever I notice that there's a potential for comedy that I'll lean into it. In the example of the old man, Seaster. Before the party even came into Bixie Creek, there was a guy that was like, oh, easy, easy. Who are you? Where are you coming from? All right? Announce yourselves. Who are you? He was from British Columbia. And he's kind of pulling back this short bow, right? And the party is like, we came from up there. And he's like, from Haleki. And the druid was like, yeah. And so I had them roll a deception check. They failed. So when Seaster came out, he was like, now wait a minute. I heard you lied about being from Haleki. And like, it started, I kind of got a laugh, and it started to be like this old man was almost like a disappointed parent, you know? And the reason I say that, Jake, is that it's rare that even characters in a comedy, even like Chris Farley and Tommy Boy, like Tommy Boy doesn't think, like Tommy the character doesn't think that he's a funny fat idiot. He's just earnestly living his life. We, the audience, find it funny. You know what I mean? Like, some of the funniest characters are ones that actually just sort of have a stick up their ass. You know, they actually can't be bothered because they're so fucking intense that they can't even see the joke. You know, like, it's rare that a character, an NPC, is trying to be funny, at least in my world. It's more the scenario and the interactions that cause the comedy. If that makes sense, right? Okay. Agreed. It is automatic, but here's the thing. If you summon a Coatl with True Sight, it's like if you just like bamf in and you're wearing like night vision goggles. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can see with night vision, but it's not like you have the comparison of seeing without the night vision goggles. So once he's summoned in, he sees a bunch of humans, some of them minors, some of them blind jackals. Unless he casts Detect Evil, he cannot tell. He sees an old high elf and like a middle-aged human. And I don't think he inherently can see the outlines of a disguised self spell. Like, that's not how it's described, right? Yeah. So True Sight doesn't show you the outline of magic. It just shows you whether or not, it shows you like the truth behind an illusion. You know what I mean? So let me know. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with it, right? It would need to be prompted, though. If it gets to act independently, it might do it as a way. I agree, Mapro. I completely agree. But I think for me, it has to be. I feel like Wooden Rise because it has True Sight. I haven't seen anything. Exactly, Jake. That's where I'm at with it. Exactly. So I'm just catching up on this. Should be a well nearby. Don't know this happened, but the beast is sun, cutting a loud rumbling. Got it. You can always roll out True Sight in a roundabout fashion. There's always old mythals. Omanji, the leader, and what's his face is the cliff, can just take out the concentration. That's what I'm hoping, Mapro, is I want them to take out this concentration. So let me catch up on chat, and then we'll roll through how I think it's going to happen. And you guys let me know if you think I'm missing something or if I'm somehow breaking the rules of a mechanic, but I don't think I am. But let me know. Let's focus on that. Okay, let me see here. Got it. About the one way you can plan a punchline is by deliberately placing a physical objects to help set it up. That's true. Placing an item to interact with that has a comedic nature. That's definitely very true. Like magic shops that sell weird stuff is always great. All the spells are completely useless. I love that. Jake, a bucket of water. That's great. If you make the W setting up the bearer, that's great. Yo, Hoilepa. Hey, legend. Get in here. Bugles up. True sight is intentionally left vague in the sense, but that one hard line was that it is always up. Completely agree. Let's bring back up true sight. Let me just make sure I get this right. True seeing is true. Okay, great. Great. Let's click here. A monster with true sight can, out to a specific range, see in normal and magical darkness, see invisible creatures and objects, automatically detect visual illusions, and succeed on saving throws against them. Here we go. And perceive the original form of a got you. And perceive the original form of a shape changer or a creature that is transformed by magic. That's fucking rowdy. This boy can summon one of these things. That's intense. Okay. Perceive the original form of a shape changer or a creature that is transformed by magic. Okay. But it doesn't... You guys see where the difference is, right? Like, if I have true sight and I'm not in a room, and then I teleport into a room, and there's 3 normal people and 1 changeling, I see 3 people and a changeling. Like, I don't know that the changeling is in disguise. The only reason that he's pointing out the fact that this elf automatically detect visual illusions. That's what's tough. Okay. I think how I'll do, so I'll split this. If the coatl is around for more than about a minute unmolested, or if he's prompted by the summoner, the cleric in this instance, then they will be able to immediately detect that this Bilbin is a changeling. However, Falm and the majority of these jackals are going to try to break this concentration. So we'll see how that goes. A level 7 illusion wizard can attack with illusions. If they use truth sight, it means the party can't defend against the attacks. Right. No, that's a good point, Hulepa. Like, what we're dealing with is that this coatl has been summoned and has true sight. And there is both a changeling present in disguise and a regular humanoid that has disguised self cast on them. And where the discussion is would the coatl, would true sight both show the true form and show the fact that there's an illusion around it? If we go back to how it's described here, right? A monster with true sight can, out to a specific range, see in normal magical darkness, see invisible creatures and objects, automatically detect visual illusions. So I think it's simple as that. He's like, that's an illusion. Okay, so automatically detect visual illusions and perceive the original form of a shape changer or creature. Okay. So that's it. That's pretty much it wrapped. So if they're not able to break the concentration, that coatl will reveal that Bilbin is a changeling, which might fucking happen. Sorry, late honk. Might fucking happen. I hope it doesn't, because I want them to think that Bilbin is an ally, and then they'll push into the next phase of the encounter and come across Bilbin tied up. And they'll be like, oh, fuck. And that's going to be a beautiful moment. Okay, let me take this in. I also played with an exceptionally old monk mage with bad breath and high acrobatics, Mapro. And my setup punchline was that I was playing super fragile agile. That's great. Hexed with halitosis. Yo, Poke9er, get in here. Bugles up. Get in here. You absolutely may, Poke9er. Thank you for asking. Drop it into the chat, and we'll take a look at it. Do you want us to look at something you've created, or do you want to type a question into chat? Mapro, that is hilarious. Somewhere Dick Van Dyke is levitating with joy. Okay, true form and seeing through disguises. Is this a little too loud for us? No, it's good. Okay, so true form and seeing through disguises, it's like seeing a person in the Halloween costume. You know it's not an actual clown, and there's a person under it. Alternatively, it's written big, yeah, so that way true sight can see through that discharge, and the DM can choose if they want to see the disguise. I think so, true. Amazing. All right, Pokeniner, let me copy this. We're not going to do this right this second, but I'll put it up. We'll give a little teaser. First off, I mean, first glance is this is sick as fuck. This is for a sorcerer subclass. What is this? It looks fucking rowdy. We will tuck into that moments before I sing karaoke. And we do a tank top giveaway, guys. Just one of those days. It's one of those nights. Still alive at 98 and dancing at that. Dude, we were talking about that at rehearsal last night. I've waited on Dick Van Dyke multiple times. Dude is a legend. Each time, he comes in just like an old fucking legend. Everybody, it's like the Pope walks in. Everyone's just like, it's Dick Van Dyke. It's Dick Van Dyke. Oh my God, it's Dick Van Dyke. But each time, dude, lovely, so charming. Came up to me, handed me $100. $100 bill. Whoosh! That's the type of celebrity I love. Sorry, speech to text. They can see through the disguises and still see that disguise or not. It's up to the DM. Right. Be vague, not big. Got it. The creature could be simple, not care about both sides. Right. I think Hoilepa totally. It's been summoned. So I think unless the summoner specifically asks them, the Coatl just thinks they see a changeling. Like, it is what it is. Yes, like talking to the changeling is it. Yes. Yes, exactly, Pokeniner. Exactly. So you see through the false illusion. You don't necessarily see the illusion itself unless you are like dropping true sight and bringing it back. That's kind of how it hits me. Like, I think Coatls are amazing for seeing invisible things and automatically seeing through illusions like hallucinatory terrain or whatever. But the advantage of someone being able to cast true sight is that they have their field of vision and then they cast true sight and it's like clicking in invisible goggles. And that's not what just happened with the Coatl. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. Let me get the music into more of a tense place. I do like this jam a lot, though. I forget what this song is. You know what? Let me bring this up. Let's get the vibe right, guys. Cool. Okie schmoky. So here we are. We ended last session with the Coatl being summoned, the cleric asking it, and the Coatl sort of pointing towards this other elf, this second sister. And as it does, I think what's going to happen is you're just going to hear, "Now, lads! Take their eyes. Leave their tongues." I have it where the blind jackals will leave, and this is gross, and this is aggressive, but I'm going to say it. The jackals will kill dogs and will pluck out their eyes and leave them as sigils of violence and grim power. Okay, great. So now let's take their eyes. Leave their tongues. Take their eyes. I think we'll just leave it like that. There's confusion and blood as the miners of Dixie Creek, who are all above the age of 18, intertwined with the presence of the jackals, fall into violent confusion. Yeah, okay, so Bilbin's going to step up. Those loyal to Caesar and to the north, rally to my axe hand. Ryan will look to the storm chasers in confusion, and then we will roll for initiative. Cool. There's going to be this like clattering of like chaos and axe and steel and brother falling upon brother. Falm is just going to be popping the fuck off. He's the one that's maintaining the concentration spell on the fake Caesar. Now that the jig's up, he doesn't need to maintain that. Cool. Now, let's talk about the goal here. I'm gonna have like this right here. Let me zoom in on it. This is what I've been using as a like icon representation of the Blind Jackals. Now, they're a freaking underground criminal organization. So like they're not walking around with name tags. You know what I mean? There's no Blind Jackal uniform, so to speak. But once they have uncovered them, and oftentimes for ease of understanding in like a map, I'll reveal that some of these individuals are jackals, right? So what I'd like to do, just because I think it's a fun visual, is I'd like to create a bunch of these, right? And kind of put them next to people. Oh, sorry. And the idea being that these all go back and make invisible. But at one point, I'm going to do basically this. Cool. Man, this is going to be rowdy, actually. Okay, so let me just get all of these guys. And I'm going to make them all invisible. Let me know if I've missed anybody, because I don't want to reveal that these are all blind jackals. Don't want to give that away for free. Boom, they're gone. So now that they're all selected, I wonder what happens if I go here. So if I go to the ones that are right next to them, will this work? This would be rad. If I could just take off the icons and replace them with jackals. Come on, baby. Damn it. Damn it. Okay, I'll have to do it one at a time. That's fine. But the point being that I'll like make those disappear and then I'll bring in the jackal icons and I guarantee you it will get a fucking gasp. Late honk. I'm going for gasps. It's an Always Sunny line that I love. I'm not going for laughs. I'm going for gasps. Okay, that's feeling good. It's feeling really good. Did I miss any jackals? I don't believe so. Oh, shoot, there's way more. I didn't realize how many there were. This is going to be terrifying for them. Oh, I fucking love it. Okay, very fun, very cool, very fun. This feels good to me. Because what they think is that they have found the changeling, right? What they think is that this is about to be a classic battle. But they just don't know. Yes, okay, I like that. This reminds me of a question I like to ask a DM. Is a bag of holding considered a new realm, or is it a point of stasis? Meaning, can you catch an explosion in a bag of holding, and would it explode, or can you release it again? You know, like, in general, I'm a rules as written guy. Like, I think the rule of fun can supersede anything, because like that's why we play this game. You know what I mean? But rules as written have to be honored and maintained. Again, in my world. Because I don't want people to think that I'm just freestyling this stuff. Obviously, I put a ton of thought and time into planning it. But whenever they come up with cool solutions, you know, even stuff like discussing true sight, I want to make sure that I'm doing right by my party. With the bag of holding, like, it is somewhat vague. It is, in my mind, designed to be almost like a pocket dimension. But the thing about the bag of holding is, like, it's magical. So you put something in and it's stored. And to recall it, like if I put in a copper coin, I have to think of a copper coin. That's why finding someone else's bag of holding, you don't automatically, I guess you could dump it out and have everything come out. But stuff like putting someone in it, stuff like trapping an explosion or noxious gas, like that's just not what it's designed for. So I would always rule no on that unless it's a very niche exception, you know? Exactly, Mapro and Pokeniner. That's exactly how I see it as well. Like, it won't show you the fog, but it will show you the truth. It will just cut through it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, technically there would be 10 minutes of air. Like, to me, that's way too easy of a get out of jail free card. Like, just hopping in the bag. But I guess you would need someone there to get you out of the bag, eh? So, there's a risk reward. That's subtle for the campaign that I'm hosting. There are tainted lands that will entice children. Ooh, and return them looking at porcelain dolls with black eyes. Oh my gosh, almost like a Pied Piper. I like that. Okay, last thing I want to examine is just the sorcerer spell list. Oh my gosh, I need to remember this for the love of God. Use his sorcerer points. Gotta remember to use his sorcerer points. I always forget because I never really played a sorcerer. But for the love of God, Johnny. Okay, this is all other stuff. So I think at the end of combat. So I think post-combat. Wait. Thank you. Trent Arsene. They dimension door. Leaving the rest of the jackals to die. I like that. Fend for themselves, we'll say. Okay, cool. Let's just do one thing, and then I hope you're here, Mapro. I mean, I hope you're here, Insomnia, because we're about to bust out some karaoke. Yes. Please tell me everyone's still there. Let's go. Fuck yes. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. All right, we're going to do a giveaway at the end of this, guys. It's going to be rowdy. Is this it? Yeah, I prefer this one. Okay. 6th and 7th. So what do we think? I feel like he maybe cast Firestorm. Okay, yo, let's do this because I don't want to forget. In Pokeniner, tell me, was this designed to be for a sorcerer? Did you give me that information? Let's go. One thing that I'm like a little split between, how do you choose what attacks the enemy does? Now, Jake, give me more of an example for that. Like, are you talking about for a homebrew? Or are you talking about like if a creature has multiple attacks? For me, it's often about trying to find the action economy of it. You know what I mean? Oftentimes, creatures will have kind of overarching strategy. Like, are they up close? Are they kind of kiting around, like hit and run? Are they pure range? You know what I mean? But typically, I go with what deals the most damage. As long as it doesn't, you know, obviously if there's like an area of effect attack and a creature or NPC is surrounded, then they'll totally do the area of effect. But, I mean, obviously the monsters know what they are doing is a great representation of that. I could have just spanned the party with Paralyzing Gaze. No, dude. See, and Jake, that's where I'm at with it. We're like, hit them with the Paralyzing Gaze. You know what I mean? Like, lace them up. I think we need to be coming out guns blazing, unless you know something we don't know, like maybe the Scarecrow's a little too powerful. And I don't want to look up the Scarecrow, actually, because I'm playing in the Curse of Strahd right now. There was one moment where there were 2 scarecrows, and it seemed like they were maybe going to attack us. So I don't want to dive into that. Okay, so this is for... Oh, I should have known. Otherworldly patron. Of course, it's a warlock. Okay. Struck a deal with an ancient creature of incredible wealth, majesty, a dragon. Sick. Typical dragons form thralls. Gather it deems valuable. Cool. Skilled warlocks often take weeks or even months to understand their patron's desires. That's interesting. To me, this is very cool already in the sense of, you know, the backstory of a humanoid communing with a dragon. Like, that's extremely niche, right? I mean, that's very, very rare that a friendship like that is formed, much less like a working relationship. I'm not saying it's not inherently a friendship, I guess, but the skill that you choose from an expanded list of spells. Cool. Dragon's Breath, Warding Wind, great. Huh. Ooh, Cold Lightning is a great one. That's a big spell to give them. Lehman's Secret Chest, I'm not actually familiar with that. I like legend lore. That's very dragon specific. I like it. Speak, read, and write Draconic. Cool. Okay, great. I like the damage type. Great. You can deal additional damage of the type chosen. Cool. Item Great Horde. You can cast the Identify spell at will. Wow. I would limit the at will. Like, at will is, like, anytime I see at will, I'm like, holy shit. I would maybe limit that to, like, proficiency bonus or charisma modifier. That's just my immediate gut reaction. You now have resistance to damage type. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, I love that. Damn. You know what? An armor class bonus to a warlock is great. Oh, that's cool. Oh, get that boy over here. Hey, Squid. Whoa, there's a cute boy over there slinking around. Hoarded Haven. Wait. What is going on here? Hoarded Haven has given you the ability to mimic the environment of your patron. Wow. As an action, you can change the terrain in a 60-foot radius into a visage of the patron's lair. Damn, so it gives you a lair action? Crazy. I like that. Losing initiative tie except with other layers. Interesting. It lasts for 1 minute or until you're incapacitated. Layers are dominating presences by nature, causing conflicts between multiples of them. If there's another layer present, they must make a charisma check to contest the layer's owner. Interesting. I kind of like that. Huh. Wow. You have blind sight and true sight. Heard of it. You've made it into your skill bounce damage type. Interesting. Immunity. That's very cool. You gain a bonus to your armor class equal to your full charisma. Wow. This is cool. So, 66, huh? You know, I like the desires. That's cool to give them some like kind of role play backstory prompts. Overall, Poke9er, this is dope. Like, great work. I hope you feel great about that. It's beautifully laid out. It's very compelling. It inherently comes with an enormous amount of kind of backstory punch. Adds a ton of weight to like who these characters are, where the heck they're coming from. That I love. For me, like, balancing is always really hard when homebrewing subclasses. I think you've done a really good job. I would probably take away the identify at will. Only because my party would be like, oh, great. Like, we're going to go and spend 6 months in this town and make money identifying shit. You know? Like, they would just do that. The layer action is very intense. But in general, I feel like warlocks have a scaling problem. So I'm cool with it. I think it's dope. You are Carpe approved. Good stuff. Okay, so that's going to be my spell list. Okay, this is it. This is it. We've done it. You guys know what's next. You guys know what's next. All right? I've told you what's next. We are coming upon the Wheel of Names. Come, beloved, for it is time for the Wheel of Names. Okay, so I want to add everybody else that's in there. Pokey Niner. Let's go. You're back, baby. Been having a lot of people stepping out on me, stepping back in, I see, huh? Carpe the revolving door, I guess. So it seems. What a journey. What a swing we've had. Well, we're back, baby. We are motherfucking back. So everyone that's in chat is going to get an extra edition. So that'll be Insomnia because you brought it out. That will be Jake. That will be Vogly. That will be Hoilepa. That will be Foos. She's in there. Sage, they're in there as well. Insomnia as well. Who am I missing, guys? Oh. Appreciate that follow, Poke9er, getting here, baby boy. Yeah, exactly. Mapro, there you are, Mapro. Foos, get in here. Who am I missing? Do I have Mapro down? I don't know that I do. Poke9er, Mapro. Oh my gosh. You guys. You guys want to see the cutest little thing that ever lived? Who is that little boy? Who is the little boy? Ooh, they called him Mr. Wrinkles. He the sweetest boy I ever seen. You are so cute, Squid. We're about to do a giveaway. Oh my gosh, this boy. My wife and I didn't know the sex of this child, but we were pretty sure it was going to be a girl just through like weird like wives' tales and other stuff. And when this boy popped out, I'll tell you what, I was not ready, Mr. Man.
You should be the one to click the button.
Okay, you're right. Hang on, let me make sure. Waylon is gonna initiate this giveaway. Who am I forgetting? Mapro, Jake, Hoilepa, I have. Who am I forgetting? Guys, drop your name in chat if I didn't mention you already. I think I have everybody here. Vogue is in there. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, Gravance, let's go. Okay, big boy. Okay, guys, let's do it. Okay. Guys, are we ready? Are we prepared? Squid, you ready to hit the button? This is his first interaction with the computer. Or press... Okay, wait. Okay, buddy. I need you to just use your big, meaty paw. We ready, everybody? Here we go. Yahoo! Give me that hand. Did it work? No, it didn't. We moved it. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, Squid. Here we go. Come on, somebody in chat. Oh my gosh, goblets and warlocks. Let's go. Well, we have a winner. We have a chicken dinner. At least I know goblets exists and we can find him. You are so cute, my son. Well rolled. You know how much I love you. You know how cute you are. Okay, get out of here, you little squid. Ah, my gosh. What a guy. What a guy. Well, goblins and warlocks lucked out. You know what, dude? I'm making the call. I'm making the call right now. And I'm making the call. And I'm just going to do people that are in chat. Feels appropriate. Feels right. Feels appropriate. Feels right. You know what I mean? No offense to Goblet. Dude's a G. As I hit it, I was like, I shouldn't do this. So we're going to do this the right way. I'm going to come back and double check. Okay, let me see. Gravanch, Mapro, Poke9er, Foos, Insomnia, Jake, Vogly, Hoilepa, Sage was here, Advantage. No, Advantage is not here. Insomnia is, though. Who am I? I'm missing somebody. Is Hoilepa there? Yes. Poke9er, yes. Mapro? Yes. Who am I forgetting? Yeah, Waylon is gone. Okay, we're going to do it from everyone in chat, guys. I love you. May the odds be forever in your favor, okay? This is what we needed to be doing from the jump. From the jump. Here we go. Time to rip. We'll pretend that Waylon's chubby hand is hitting it, and may the odds be forever in your favor. Goodbye. One of you is getting a tank top, dude. It's a size medium. Deal with it. Yes! Yes! Let's go. Fuck, I'm going to have to ship this to India. Gravanch, I love you, dude. Shipping costs are going to be out the butt. But luckily, I know that Gravanch, at minimum, will send me some photos of him wearing the tank top. Gravanch, you handsome devil. You handsome devil. Okay, so let me put the... Wait. Shoot. I got rid of it. I just want to put this back in because, like, it kind of saves the list. Oh, shoot. Please say yes. No. Oh, fudge. Oh, man. I do this. I've done this several times. Fuck. Damn it, I did it again. The copy paste is different going Mac to PC. So I thought I copied that before I deleted it, and I did not. Like a fool. So next giveaway will again be a huge pain in the butt where I have to type in 200 names. But it's okay. Gravanch, you won, bro. You have a tank top. You lucky son of a duck. Seriously. Now, is this tank top going to get detained at the border? I don't know. But Gravanch, by the old gods and the new, my man, I'm going to send you that tank top. I'm very excited about this. I'm so glad. Like, literally everyone, like, you know, there's 200, like, half of those followers I feel like I actually know pretty well. You know what I mean? Which has been such a joy on Twitch. Like, a lot of you guys I've gotten to play with, run games for, playing games with. Like, it's such a blessing. You know what, dude? Mapro, I don't give a damn. I would send you 2 tank tops, and we could cut them and sew them. You know what I mean? I had a bunch of larges. I didn't make any extra larges. But in general, this tank tops ran kind of big. The point is, next time I'm gonna get a bigger swath. You know? You guys are the best. Yeah, yeah. You know what, Vogley, you're right. I think moving forward, these giveaways should just be chat. Because frankly, it is so hard to track down some of these people. And some of them don't even have Twitch accounts anymore. All right, we're off it. We are off it. Insomnia, here it comes. All right, you guys ready for some karaoke? Now, the big thing here is I don't want to blow out the mic. So hopefully this is a little bit closer to what I need it to be. I am with you. I need a 5.6 XL. Yo, Richter, get in here, dog. It's been a great stream, guys. Good to kick it. Okay, going to end with some karaoke at the request of Insomnia. This is going to be, honestly, hopefully a song you guys know, because it is an absolute bop. It is a bop. Let me put it here. Let me actually move it here-ish. Yeah, sick. I did it. Buckles video killed. More like Rarioke. All right, let's let it rip. Let us let it rip. I'm like so weirdly nervous, but let's just do this. I love this track. I was listening to it in the car yesterday. I've never tried to karaoke this. So here we go. This song is a bop, if you guys don't know it. Hell yeah. His eyes are cold and restless. His wounds have almost healed. And she give half of Texas just to change the way he feels. She knows his love's in Tulsa, knows he's gonna go. Well, it ain't no woman, flesh or blood, it's that damned old rodeo. It's bulls and blood, it's dust and mud, it's the roar of a Sunday crowd. It's the white in his knuckle, the gold in his buckle, he'll win in the next go-round. It's boots and chaps, cowboy hats, spurs and a let it go. It's the ropes and the rain and the joy and the pain, call the thing about y'all. Oh! This song's a bop. If Garth Brooks was here right now, he'd come and he'd kill me. It's okay. She does her best to hold him when his love comes to call. But his need for it controls a man, and her back's against the wall. And it's so long, girl, I'll see you when it's time for her to go. You know a woman loves her cowboy like he loves his rodeo. Well, it's bulls and blood, it's dust and mud, it's the roar of a Sunday crowd. It's the white in his knuckle, the gold in his buckle, he'll win in the next go-round. It's boots and chaps, cowboy hats, spurs and a let it go. It's the ropes and the rain and the joy and the pain, they call the thing a rodeo. It's a hard one. Let's go. It is. This is such a great verse, though. I love this. It'll drive a cowboy crazy. It'll drive a man insane. And he'll sell off everything he owns just to pay to play a game. And a broken home and some broken bones is all he'll have to show. For all the year that he spent chasing this dream they call rodeo. Well, it's bulls and blood, it's dust and mud, it's the roar of a Sunday crowd. It's the white in his knuckle, the gold in his buckle, he'll win in the next go-round. It's boots and chaps, it's cowboy hats, spurs and a let it go. It's the ropes and the reins and the joy and the pain, call the thing a rodeo. It's the broncs and the blood, it's the steers in the mud, and they call the thing a rodeo. Now, a great example of maybe why you should vet a karaoke song. You know what I mean? A great example of hearing a song and being like, hey, I could sing that. And then doing it and being like, this is harder than I thought. That's almost more like spoken word poetry. All right, no regrets, flawless, 0 notes, nothing else to say. Guys, we crushed it today. We crushed it. We got to the bottom of the session. We got to the truth of true sight. And man, we started with 201 followers, lost a couple, gained them all back, and then gave away a tank top. That is a fucking good day. Of what you drink before karaoke, agreed. Yes, agreed. If you guys are curious, you honestly should maybe look up that song because it is a bop. It's actually a fucking bop. It's one of my favorite country songs ever, but one that probably needs some work. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting me, being there with me. Life has been crazy, so my stream schedule has also been crazy. This is the only stream this week, but I'm hoping to get back to a regular schedule very soon, man. I'm telling you, these rehearsals are brutal. But I love you. I'm so glad to be here. Let's raid somebody playing Dungeons and Dragons, or ideally doing prep, because I love that too. Okay, let's see. Who's this guy? Well, I always kind of like to find someone that's, oh shoot. Dang it, my bad. Hold up. Bear with me. I always like to find somebody that is, doing prep, but that's like not that common. I guess that's why we're having so much fun. Oh, dude, Sage is, yeah, we're raiding Sage. Okay, guys, I love you. As always, take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. I mean it. Thank you for loving on me and being sweet. We are going to raid Red Sage. If you don't know Sage, what is wrong with you? What happened to you? He's the best. He's an incredible DM, incredible player. I've had the joy of playing with him. This is Plot Armor, which is a great campaign he's been running for a minute. And tell him Carpe sent you. Okay, I love you. I mean it. I'm out. Peace.
She is prepared without expending spell slot, though the spell's effect is cast as if it was at first level. There is an alternative, but it doesn't matter because it requires the candle to have full ability.
That's fine. Cool. I think this
it doesn't really say. What I'd probably so we can kind of describe this. Welcome in, Carpe. Hey, welcome. You have come in at a time where our intrepid group, whilst desecrating a tomb, apparently have discovered a magical candle.
Not me. Thank you.
I mean, you're all present, and the tomb is being desecrated right now, but it's good. Don't wish.
Oh,
that,
shoot. Am I still
Carpe.
here,
Carpe
Vogel?
has just wished me